title. We'll see. May or may not have. Stream info. Yeah, Devel. Okay, cool. So let me also check that the audio is working because it was not working earlier. So let me put the mic on mute. Can I even do that? Yeah, 1 second. Okay, that looks like it works to me. So next step, let's see here. All right, let's get going here. So we have, do I have my notes? Yeah, I can pull up the notes here. Cool. All right, so this is going to be another Windows box. It's going to be called Devel. Let me get it as a subnet here. Yeah, nice. Okay. The IP is what? 1010 something 5. Yeah. Nope. All right. Cool. Off to a good start. Let me make sure I'm not on mute. Okay. All right. So something interesting. The reason I'm having trouble with copy paste is that I have a mechanical keyboard and I have the control and the like Apple key, I guess, or the command key on a Mac mapped to different keys. And the problem is that on Windows and Mac, they're different. Copy paste is like a different button, right? So, and I have Mac for work and Windows for real life, and so I get them confused all the time. All right, so here's our IP address. Let's go and map it, shall we? So for those who, and our terminal is also broken. Awesome. Solarized Dark just decided not to work today. Why? Who knows? Who knows why? Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about it today. It'll just look a little ugly. My apologies. Alright. And Kali is not working. So I suppose I should have troubleshooted this a bit before I started streaming. So let's go try and solve more issues. Hopefully you guys are capturing the sound here to figure out my password. Alright. I don't even know if that's the right password. I don't think it is. There we go. This is just all messed up, isn't it? Alright, so we need to turn on our Ethernet port. Did that work? We shall know now. Now we need to get a IP address. That would also be helpful. Okay, let's try it now. Still nothing. What do we got? 1010 112. We should, and I don't even know how to check the alias on. Oh, I think. Let's see. Windows PowerShell. Still the same. Regular PowerShell. Also not. Huh. I wonder why the color scheme finally decided to die. I mean, I see color scheme solarized dark here. I would assume that should work. Kind of annoying. Okay. How do we edit our profile? I think it's like this. Okay. So we need to see what the, well, we can just change this to the IP address, right? That should work. Oh, I bet I know what's happening. I bet the SSH service is not started. Okay, let's try that again. Yay. Tmux, please. Thank you. All right, is that bugging me? It's really bugging me. Solarize, dark, PowerShell, profile. Why is this not working? So that's their installation right there. Oh, I think I bet I know. I bet that these, I bet I deleted these profile files. I bet that's what happened. Set solarized dark color defaults .ps1. Documents Windows PowerShell. Documents Windows PowerShell. Yeah, for some reason these got deleted. So let's download this. Now the shell should pick that up. So let's try reloading it. Nope. And if I run, well, I try that, no luck. I think it sets. I need this. All right, let's just try. Let's just go for it. Now it's not pretty, but okay. All right. So next step is to we're gonna nmap this box. That's right. All right, so let's nmap it. So you know what? We need to open VPN in. All right. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got here. Maybe while this is running, we can figure out why my PowerShell. Oh, too late. Okay. That's not looking good. Interesting. MS16032. Somebody was having some fun. This looks like somebody else was working on it, maybe? I suppose I suppose that these files are somebody else messing with it. And just not cleaning up after themselves. So let's take a look at, let's try not to start right off the bat by cheating and using their stuff. Let's try to look at what else we got here. So we have port 80 and port 21. We have anonymous FTP. So I think we can get the FTP going. If I open up this and take a look at my profile, I can see what dynamic port I have set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Alright, sorry. So that means that we can open up WinSCP and take a look at the take a look at what's on this machine. Oh, oops. Okay, let's do this. We need to set the proxy to our local host. Then we can select the right host. Now let's save it and log it. Okay. Now I'm guessing that this is somebody else's crap. So if I upload a SpongeBob GIF, it will work. Okay. Interesting. Now what do we see here? We see ASP.NET. Let's make a new directory here. And we will get this. We will grab that. Now, I think I'm not gonna lie. I'm seeing what this guy's doing. I think I kind of understand what he's doing. Yeah, I see that he uploaded shell.asp ASP. So I'm guessing that the port. Now let's get burp going. So we saw on our nmap that port 80 was open, right? And port 80 was running IIS and so if we set burp to use the SSH server, is that, oh, you know what? That's the wrong. We just want socks proxy right here. Yep. Okay. So we're using the socks proxy. If we set Chrome to use the burp suite, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's kind of nice. Use proxy local sock 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Someone was thinking ahead. 5. You can see that we have IIS 7 here. This is the index page. And all right, so now if we so we see ASP.NET Client, System Web 20507, nothing in there. Okay. But if I say like slash ASP, what was it? ASP.NET Client? Don't have permission to view this directory or page. So we are suspecting that this IIS start.htm is the same file that we are viewing here, and we can kind of verify that by trying to look at it with Notepad++, please. And yeah, this matches this, right? Let me blow this up. So we confirmed that the directory we're looking at in the FTP matches what is being served by the website. So then the question is, can we get code execution? Can we get, now like, my background, I guess, would be something like PHP. So on Linux, if this were a PHP server, we might like upload a .php file, and that would likely just work. I have less background with IIS, so let's now. Obviously, the guy who came before us, who didn't clean up after himself, used .asp. So you can see like shell.aspx. So let's see if that sounds right for IIS7. IIS7, like code execution. And that's 15034. I'm almost guessing. I'm guessing it's not an actual exploit on IIS7, but that messed with us before. So let's take a note here. So let's copy the nmap result into our text first. And let's make a things to try. And our things to try should be uploading and executing an ASP shell. And then the other thing should be exploiting CVE against a service. And there is the FTP, and there's IIS 7.5. All right. Now, this is interesting. IIS WebDAV. Devel is uploaded as an ASP script. All right. I'm curious. I want to read a little bit about ASP scripts before I just go and do this, because I feel like it's a little cheating a little bit. Can I Wikipedia it? Active server pages. Here we go. First server-side script engine for dynamically generated web pages was first released in December 1996 before being superseded in January 2002 by ASP.NET. So it is actually pretty old. I didn't realize it was that old. ASP 1.0 was released in December 96 as part of IIS 3. Okay, so IIS 7.5 should definitely have it. ASP remains supported until January 2020 on Windows 7. Wow. Use of ASP pages will be supported on Windows 8 for a minimum of 10 years. Wow. I did not realize it was that embedded in Windows. Let me make sure this is... Can I set a default zoom rate? Zoom? Page zoom. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Now you can read along with me. So this is what we want, right? We want server-side scripting. And what we want is we want to upload the server-side script and then we want to execute it to get a shell on the machine, right? So now that we know... Oh, look at this. That's so nice of them. Classic ASP applications on 7.5. Microsoft introduced ASP over a decade ago. Beginning with IIS 6, ASP became an optional component in IIS. And IIS 7 and 7.5 and above, Microsoft support for ASP.NET has reached new levels of maturity. Likewise, by using fast CGI, so as support for non-Microsoft development technologies. Okay. Thankfully, those of us that rely on the classic version of ASP will still find IIS to be a first-class development platform. Great. So all we have to do is we install the IIS web server, which somebody has done for us, and then we add a classic ASP website. In the universe. Add a website. So I'm pretty sure we have a website already, which is what we're seeing, right? All right. Well, this is not... Not beginning to be super helpful, but I think we just go for it. So somebody has to explicitly install ASP, it would appear. Question is that what they did here? Or would we just try to build an ASP.NET? ASP.NET. Oops, wrong one. ASP.NET, but I want to Google it. And so it already has a successor, but the file name is .aspx. And then this is .asp. Ah, okay. That's probably why our guy before us uploaded an ASPX. Let's try both. Why not both? So what are we doing now? We need to develop a backdoor shell for ASP. I believe we can do that with Metasploit. Now, does ASP MSF Venom? Okay, MSF Venom apparently still works, but let's go with the console anyways. How's the stream doing? Stream seems to be doing okay. Let me know if something's screwed up on it. So what are we doing right now? We are logging. We're starting up Metasploit. It looks like I see an evil goose there. Yep. And we're going to craft a shell file to put on a server to execute code that we want it to execute. Now this is where my lack of knowledge with Metasploit comes in, but I think what we want to do is we want to look for payloads, right? So search, let's just search ASP. Okay. And of course it's going to be really ugly. Here we go. So payload, Windows, interpreter. I think we want payload ASP, if that's possible. I don't actually see it. I think we're missing something here. Let's okay, Metasploit search payloads. Oh, we need to, okay, I think I know what we're doing wrong here. I think we just get a normal like Windows interpreter payload and then craft it into ASP using like the payload generator. So payload generator. Of course, this is okay. Let's go payload generator MSF console. Yeah. Okay. So we want to use this again. So let's say instead of set payload, we're going to say use payload. Nope. Cool. Okay. Did not work. Oh, alright. There we go. Alright, we need to set our IP address. It's going to be whatever we have for our VPN. So this is like my local address on the network. This is the address local to the VPN network. So that's the one we want. So we're going to set the payload to use that. Set host. So what's happening here is that we're going to try to set a Windows interpreter reverse TCP payload So what that's going to do is reach out to us on the network and establish a connection to us once we execute it on the other machine. And so we have to tell it where to connect to, right? So that IP address is my IP address on the VPN. So that server that we're exploiting will reach out to my computer with a connection. And then once connected, we will be able to start exploiting the machine. So now that we have lhost set, show options, now we just need to craft the payload. And we get to use the generate button. That's right. It's been a while. Right. So we're going to use -F. Let's go to ASPX for now. And we want to output it to shell 2000.aspx. And that should be done. So, can we look at that? Devel. Alright, so we have the file. Now we need to get the file over to the other machine. I think we can just FTP to it and upload it. Name anonymous. Anonymous at anonymous.com. We're going to put show at feet2000.aspx on there. Okay. So this should show our shell popped over there. And now we can try running the shell, theoretically. I'm confused why we were still able to browse through that proxy. I guess I have an internet. I guess it still went to the internet because it's just going to the internet through my Kali box, but it also has a route to the VPN. So if we do shell at feet 2000, I think I need to execute it over here. So now that we have a payload, they show how to use it? No, they don't. I think we can just say like I believe we should just be able to say like exploit, right? Order commands, module commands, use. Payload commands. Creates a handler with the specified payload. Is that what I want? Use. Exploit. Start listener. So maybe we should have used a different type of exploit there, but we're just going with the easiest first. But now we know what to try if something goes wrong. So basically, if something goes wrong, It might be because the machine is firewalling connections out, so it may not actually be allowed to connect to our machine based on firewall policies, in which case we should leverage the path that is open, meaning like we should be able to we should just set up a shell such that it just creates a web page, an actual web page, and we just type in our command on the web page and then it executes it and shows us on the web page, rather than using the interpreter binary, which is gonna try to run some arbitrary binary and do some fancy tricky things. Okay. So we have that. We created the payload, copied the payload. Oh, that's right. Exploit multi-handler. Okay. What's going on? Uh-oh. No route to host. Did we get machine? Did the host get reset? No route to host. That's odd. Let's check here. Maybe somebody crashed the machine. Yep, something happened. Machine is offline. Not clear why it decided to die. I guess it just expired, even though I was working on it. Look at the details. 10, 10, 10, 5. Imagine it's booting up right now. Alright, so we'll have to, I'm guessing the VM reset, so we'll have to re-upload our payload. But we do know how to use our payload now. I just forgot that it was the use exploit multi-handler. So let's just try that. Set payload. So what we did before? We should have, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me say use exploit. Okay. Cool. So now our machine is listening for the other machine to reach out to us for a connection. Now we need to upload our payload. Shell at feet 2000. ASPX. Okay, so we did that, and now we will try to run it. And voila, we have an interpreter session. So what happened, right? We uploaded shell wet feet 2000 to the server. The server was configured such that the FTP directory was also the web hosting directory. So we put shell wet feet 2000 in the web server directory. And when we then navigated to that page, the server executed it. The server then reached out to my machine, and Metasploit took over from there, allowing us to have a nice pretty shell so that we can say ls and things like pwd, and now suddenly we know where we are on the machine. And can I do who am I? No. So let's start navigating, and I'm guessing we have admin access already. So let's just do cd c:/. Didn't like that. cd c:/. Yeah, there we go. cd users. cd status. Nope. cd administrator. Oh, okay. So what's happening right now? We need to privilege escalate. We got a shell on the machine, but the shell is not quite doesn't have full system access. So let's okay. Now my question is, like, what features do we have with Interpreter to try and mess with it? Okay. I keep hearing my my fan buzz. I'm kind of curious how we're doing CPU usage wise with the streaming and whatnot. I don't see anything too bad. Looks okay to me. Can we just do... I'm gonna set this here because I will be able to see it, but you all will not. Okay. So what I want to do right now is I want to figure out who I am on the system, in order to figure out like how or what we need to do to privilege escalate. All right, so right now I'm looking through the help of the commands on Interpreter to see what it's going to offer us in terms of trying to just figure out who we are. Normally on Linux, I would type in like who am I, and it would just work. I think on Windows there's a command, right? Windows who am I? All right. Windows who am I? Who am I? Should work. So how do we run a command on this? All right, system commands. This is probably would be helpful. Sysinfo shell Yeah, here we go. Get privs. Execute. Okay. Well, let's do sysinfo and then get UID. Windows 7. Get UID. IIS. Okay. So we're running as the IIS user, which means we probably are pretty limited on system access. So now the next step is privilege escalating. I think Meterpreter has like a built-in thing, so we could try that. Wait. Get system. Nope. Okay. So now I think the next step is likely. I mean, it's actually. So I'm used to Windows. I'm used to privilege escalation on Linux, not so much on Windows. With Windows, I think we need to. We may need to exploit the system. Alright, so let's look at processes right now. I think that would help. So we can see what's going on here. Oh, very little. Okay. VG auth service. W3WP, that's probably the web server. Let's take a look at this. What is VG auth service? What is it? It was just a normal built-in. Oh, it's VMware. Okay. So I don't think that's what we want to target. Let's just poke around on the system, see what else we can find. Can I do like a dir recursive? Yeah. That all doesn't seem too helpful. Logs might be helpful. Can we do ls inet logs? No. Okay. What else do we have on the system? So we tried to go to documents and settings, and yeah. Let's look at program files. It doesn't like spaces. Also not very helpful. I don't see anything that's jumping out to me that would scream ability to privilege escalate. So it looks like this is probably just like a straight stock machine. So in that case, we do maybe need to start that was too much. Oops. So I think we need to start looking for like exploits against the system itself, and seeing that it's Windows 7, it's probably likely that there is a unpatched privilege escalation exploit. So we just need to catch up on our Windows security and figure out how bad the situation is there. I see RSS keys. I don't know if that's actually going to help us or not. Okay. So I don't really see much. Alright, well, let's look for exploits against Windows 7. So, privilege escalation Windows 7. I don't like looking at random media posts. It doesn't give me a good feeling. That blue pass through. He brings up a good point. There are a lot of ways to use Metasploit to try and escalate our privileges. Now, see, this is a trusted source, right? Payloads, all the things. Alright. There's that rotten potato that guy was messing with. Alright. Root privilege escalation project. Windows exploit suggester. Wow. Okay. Well, do we want to do easy mode? Just use Windows privesc check. That would be quite amazing if that worked, to be honest with you. Standalone executable to check for simple privilege escalation vectors on Windows systems. Tries to find miscreant configurations that could allow local unprivileged users to escalate privileges to other users. It is written in Python and converted to an executable using PyInstaller. So we upload it and run. Or in one with admin rights, blah blah blah. Find privesc vectors as low privilegers. Angle without admin rights. That. Okay, well, should we try this first? I say why the hell not? Download. All right. I just do like put course, put would be way too obvious. So what are we doing? We're trying to upload an executable to the system, and then we're going to try to run it. We want to upload, right? Upload a file or directory. Is that actually going to work? Wow. Okay. Okay. Come on. Oh, what are options here? Dash dash dump. Dump tab, I guess. This is an annoying interface. Alright, so we want... Come on. We want dump tab. We want dash O. Hi there. We only want exploitable by current user. We want dash A. And then dash C. That's not very helpful, is it? Not at all. I don't know what it's doing. I wish it would just tell me, like, hey, you should try this exploit. Let's take a look at our other tools here. While that's running. Privilege escalation project. I'm definitely regretting running that program. I wonder if we can control C it or not. I'm very confused. Create a malicious DLL. Add it to the writable path. Start the service. That looks looks like way too much. Windows exploit suggester. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's try this one. Where were we? At Windows exploit suggester. This seems much better. Okay. So we need a Python machine. We can do that here. We have Anaconda. Install Python XLRD. Will that work? Sudo pip. Oh wait. Install XLRD. Okay. / or Python Windows -- update. Nope. Wrong link. We need to download the raw file. What? Did I pasted the wrong. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. Raw content. That is what we want. We should have looked at the text before running it. What did it didn't like? Oh, probably because we're on Python 3 instead of 2. So we need a Python 2 environment on the Python 2 environment. Hello to any viewers out there. Feel free to chat. I should have the chat up. Right now we are going to try to run this this file that'll tell us what exploits to use. Boom. Okay. Where were we here? We were at Windows Exploit Suggester. Feed it system info input and point it to the Microsoft database. Okay. So we need to have run system info. Now, question is, can we do that? So if I type in system info, it worked. Okay. So let's try that again. But this time, put it to system info text. Where are we? Ah, we're in the wrong directory. cd dot dot cd dot dot cd dot dot cd inet pub cd www root. Okay. Now system info dot text. Okay. Now we download systeminfo.txt. Please. You're not in my directory. Of course. Okay. So, what did we just do? We ran system info on the Windows machine, which dumped a bunch of information about the state of the system, and really, like, the patch levels is what we want. Once we have the patch levels, we feed it to this program called Windows Exploit Suggester. Very easy mode here. Very easy mode. And it will hopefully tell us, please install and upgrade the Python XLRD library. Oh, because we did that before, but we didn't do it on the right environment. I wonder if that actually makes a difference. Does it actually get a new version? No. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Let's try it again. Huh. Could not read the file using UTF-8 encoding. That's... something's wrong. Let's try doing that. It should be like ASCII. There shouldn't be any weird encoding happening. Maybe just the new line through it. Able to determine the Windows versions from the inputs file specified. Consider using OS text option to force detection. That's odd. If the system info command reveals file 1 as the output for fixes, it will not be determined which are installed on the target. It does not separate additions. Well, this tool is really old and probably potentially broken. Does not appear to be working. It thinks it's UTF-16LE. Obviously, that's wrong. Well, I guess we can just try using the OS text. OS text. And we can just look up the text. Does table list or CSV? Interesting. Doesn't really say what it's expecting, does it? I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole that I don't need to go down. I think we need to stop and think of something easier. It doesn't say what OS text it's expecting. I feel really bad that I just am like getting stuck at trying to get some other guy's Python script working. I feel like this isn't what I should be spending my time on. See, so that's what I did. Yeah, there's no reason it shouldn't be working. Okay. Well, Windows 7. Okay, let's search the build number. Okay, so what is this? MS 11046. Alright, let's try that. I just kind of want to get this done. I'm a little annoyed that I spent so long trying to get a stupid Python script working when I could have just Googled it in 1 second. Alright, let's search Metasploit. How do I background interpreter session? AFD. Where was I? I was on here. AFD.sys. AFD. Yeah. I'll be honest, I think this is one of the first times I've used like privilege escalation on Windows. So I'm a little lost here, but it's alright. Oh. Okay, so session 2. Exploit completed, but no session was created. Was that because I didn't set a payload? If I go back to the session, will it work? think that worked. Can I identify the target system? Well, we could try uploading this thing. /priv. Exploit multi-handler. Oh, SE audit privilege. Oh, disabled. Where were we? Oh, SE impersonate privilege. FSE. SE impersonate privilege enabled. Okay, I think that's what it wants us to do. Maybe we shall do that. I'm gonna copy this. This is a little exhausting. Okay. Let's see. Impersonate privilege. Juicy potato. Create payload. Alright, well, let's do it. Ten, 10, 14, 21. 10, 10, 14, 21. Alright, we're gonna go 3 4s this time. Actually, let's just... We don't need to... We don't need to be... We don't need to be creative. We can be... We can reuse. 10. Oops. Host. Port. Rev.exe. Did that work? No. Windows. So I just need to find juicy potato now. Is that what's going on? Okay. Juicy potato. A sugared version of rotten potato with a bit of juice, i.e. another local privilege escalation tool. Okay. What? Artifacts are automatically deleted? Please tell me they're here. Fresh potatoes. Okay. So damn annoying. Alright. Let's get this thing, guys. Let's get this and we'll close it out for today, and maybe I'll have energy to do another one after lunch, if we're lucky. Okay, so we got juicy potato. We got our MSF Venom export. We are going to log back into our machine. We are going to upload rev.exe. No, we need to cd ccolon c2 inet pub www.root cd inet pub. What? Let's go. Okay. cd inet pub. Okay. We're gonna upload. Was it rev.exe? Yes. We're going to upload juicy potato. Okay. We're going to launch a shell. We're going to follow the how-to guide, which is very handy. I don't know what 1340 is, and I don't know what that is. I'm slightly annoyed. Okay. let's look at juicy potato. Juicy potato dot exe dash h. Is it because it's like 64-bit? Or not? 32-bit? What was the sysinfo? System info? Are we on 32-bit? Is that what's going on? X86? X64? Well, hey, thanks for the follow. Let's see. M4TH1337, thanks, man. Elite math. Alright. So, I'm a bit lost here, I'm not gonna lie. I think I know the exploit that needs to happen. It's MS11046. We have the Metripreter session with the low privilege. I had tried using the Metripreter module with MS11046 and it did not work. We can try it again. But I don't think it's gonna work. No. I'm pretty sure that that's 1180. Yeah, AFD join lead. Show targets. Okay. Well, so this here, we talked about the juicy potato. I wonder if we can search juicy potato. Will that work? No. Oh. Hey. I think we got something. Let's try using the juicy potato stuff inside Metasploit. That could work. Target appears to be too old. Exploit aborted due to failure. User does not have SE impersonate or SE assign primary token privilege. We saw that it did, right? I thought it did. What was the command used? Who am I /priv? SE impersonate or SE assign primary token. So SE impersonate is enabled? Oh wait. Whoa, I see all this is enabled. That was different than it was before. Some of those were disabled before. I also see like SE assign primary token privilege is enabled. If I just go, maybe the who am I is out of date. Maybe something worked, but I just didn't get confirmation. I think I have administrator privilege. No. Thought I had it. I do not. I thought that was weird. Because the... So all this is enabled. So those exploits theoretically should work. But for some reason... If the user has SE impersonate or SE assign primary token privileges, then you are system. So this would indicate that we are system. Launch a new command. I mean, can I just do that? Command? Who am I? No. So I think this juicy potato is what we want. I think I'm just not being patient enough, and I don't know enough about Windows to be doing this very well. I think so. What I'm seeing right now is that it's probably an issue with the CLS ID. We also tried executing it. So this says pick any CLS ID you want. Windows 7 Enterprise. So let's just try one of these with our Metasploit exploit. Show options. Set CLS ID 2. Okay. And our reverse port options is also wrong. We're going to set L host to 1010. Interpreter session. Okay. Come on. Handler. Alright, so let's get this running again. We're going to exploit it. We're going to rerun our exploit. We are now the web user. Now we're going to use our other exploit. And we are going to set our L host to the right address. Should be 1010 1421. And we're going to try using it. And let's see if that works. Oh. Set session 4. So we know that's wrong. But we had the right CLS ID. Are we actually on Windows 7 Enterprise? Yeah, we are. So theoretically this should work. But when we try using our exploit for this juicy info, juicy potato, we're getting an error. This version is not compatible with this version of Windows you're running. So let's see if we can get the right release. So this is the one we tried downloading and it didn't work. So what do we want to do? The artifacts are gone from here. Well, 146. So this is CVE. Well, this says we can just compile it just like that. Should we try it? Say why not. Alright, let's try this. I think I'm going to probably give up soon. Maybe. Alright. Okay, we're gonna try downloading it instead of compiling it. This is a rough one. I jump into these things. I think I'm really good at them. I'm not so good at them. So it is a learning exercise every single time. In this case, I am learning about local privilege escalation on Windows machines. I'm learning that they are a pain. Alright, what happens if we do this? That was it. We did it. We uploaded the exe, we ran it, it worked. How did we find the exe? We ran system info, we got the build, and we started Googling it, along with the word exploit. That pointed us to exploit DB. That had the C code. We were too lazy to compile the C code, so we found someone who made a local version of it for us. So that was very nice of them. Now we need a binary on the machine to run. Can I background? How do I get background to shell? This does not help. Did they ever figure this one out? Control Z to background the channel. Yes. Thank you. Okay, we have system. We just need to execute a new backdoor as system. So, how do we do that? We need to make sure we're running our, so we want to create a executable that is our, is interpreter, right? Or we can, you know what, we can just get the flags where we were. Let's just do that. We don't need to upgrade it to interpreter. Blarg. Sessions. Oh, we're in interpreter. We can just do shell. Who am I? Ugh. We backgrounded a shell. How do we get back to our shell? Oh, channel. Okay. So we're system. Let's go get the user flag. I mean, we're here. Let's just end it. I want lunch. Okay. cd dot dot cd dot dot cd users cd status cd desktop. What is the show user? What is the command? Cat for Windows. Type. Thank you. Type user.text.text. So I think what I learned out of this is that I need to get into the habit or ability of compiling these from scratch so that I can run it myself and then be able to inject my own payload into it. I'm almost considering maybe going back and doing that just so that I can learn it. Because really, like, a lot of this struggle was just avoiding trying to compile these exploits from scratch. And that's no good. Gotta dig deep into the hard stuff rather than trying to avoid it and making my life a lot harder as a result. So, okay. And alert. Come back. Thank you. Okay. That was interesting. Let's go look at the tutorials and see how they did it. I'm curious now. Yeah, without Metasploit. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that System Info had a thing for hotfixes that said NA. Okay. So when you Googled it, 7601, you found the exploit, MS11046. Get the EDB ID and use it to find the exploit and search exploit. Search exploit -U. Let's try that. Search exploit -U. 40564. That's what he did. Oops. I shouldn't have updated this. This is going to take 20 hours. All right. So what are we doing right now? So we just solved the Devel box. We were able to get privilege escalation by using this guy's exploit, precompiled exploit. I felt bad that I used a precompiled exploit. I wanted to learn how to do this, be able to at least compile the exploit so that maybe we can like sub in our own payload eventually. And part of that came from like, you know, I found this exploit. It was the right exploit in retrospect. But when I scrolled down and I saw source code, my brain glazed over and I just didn't really want to deal with trying to compile a Windows binary in Kali or even on my own machine because I don't have any of this stuff and I don't want to deal with like Windows Defender killing the binary and all that. So now that we're confident that we have, we have the flag, we typed it in, it was right. So now we're gonna go back and check to see like what we could have done better. And mainly what I want to be able to do better is be able to compile this from scratch and run it myself and see if it works. That way I want to be able to do something like sub in my own payload and have it like run Meterpreter right off the bat. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I made the mistake of running search exploit -U to update it, and now it's going to take 20 hours. So let's see. So we are right here, and this is exactly what I found. So let's see how he does it. The compilation instructions are in the exploit DB webpage. Exploit compiling on Kali 64-bit, i686, MinGW GCC, blah blah blah. So that's all I had to do. All I had to do was read the README. I would have seen the compilation instructions. We could try that. Yeah, let's. Oh, we're already in the middle of an apt-get, so that might not work. Well, let's try it anyways. Who cares? So let's go get the exploit file. view raw. Download. Okay. And if we call this .c, and we try using the instructions, table of patch replacements. Oh, interesting. Okay, we'll replace the file name here. Okay, so we don't have that installed. We are just waiting for this to finish installing. It looks like it is going to take a bit long. Hopefully we are not out of space. No, we are not. Hey, there we go. Thank you. So we are going to sudo apt install. What's the mingw? Okay, so while that goes, yeah, he literally just does that. Wow. Okay. Now, he didn't even substitute a payload in. I thought I saw like a replace payload here. Let's search for a payload. Nope. So does it just run system.exe when it's done? I'm guessing it must. Wow. And that's all we had to do. So that would have worked if we had just read the instructions and tried to compile it ourselves. We probably would have saved us half an hour to an hour of looking around for other payloads and trying to get Metasploit working. So, all right. Well, I think I am going to call it for today. So, thank you everybody for watching. That was